Hello, my name is Laura and welcome back to Super Cool Homeschool. Today we are going to discuss why homeschooling is the smartest way to teach your kids. Okay, homeschooling is not what you used to think it was. 40 years ago, maybe that stereotype would fit in of being that right-wing, uber religious, super conservative person, or the left-wing, live in the woods, wear Birkenstocks and raise goats kind of person. Not that there's anything wrong with any of that, don't get me wrong, but that was the stereotype, right? It almost seemed a little cultish when you got down to it. I am guilty of that same exact stereotype. So I know better now after having researched this and learned about it more, that it is such an awesome way to teach kids, and I want to share that with you, okay? Homeschooled kids have the same access to online learning and friendships and activities that the typical public school student has without the drawbacks of the safety issues that we've touched on a little bit and that you just have to turn on the news to hear about, without the standardized lesson plans of like teaching everybody the same, without the bullying, without all of these negative, toxic type of things that happen in school. So there are a number of points that I want to make of why homeschooling makes the most sense right now, especially to me. The first one is about personalized learning, right? Personalized learning is what it is all about. That's the core idea of homeschooling. Kids need to learn at the speed and the style that's most appropriate for them. Homeschooling parents are in the best possible position to do this because who knows your child better than you? No one. Not the teacher that's teaching 5 different classes of 30 kids in a class every single day. She doesn't know. He doesn't know. It's the person that's the closest to your child, which is hopefully always going to be you, that can teach their child the best when it all comes down to it. The second reason that homeschooling is the smartest way to teach kids is that kids can learn what they really, really care about. There's no formal curriculum. You don't have to follow a formal curriculum. You get a chance to explore topics that you wouldn't normally explore until, maybe college, high school, college, if then, right? My 4th grader can study astronomy. My 8th grader can study economics. For instance, my youngest son, he loves music. That's his favorite thing. So one of his semesters of language arts is focused solely on figurative language and literary elements found within music lyrics. And this is how I could tailor my lessons and my teaching to my son to make him absolutely love what he's doing and to really, really get, pull great things out of what we did. Some parents are capable enough to pass on the knowledge themselves for a variety of subjects to their kids. But a lot of parents rely on online learning platforms and workbooks that we are going to discuss in future videos. I'm going to tell you all about how to get started. I'm going to tell you what resources to use. I'm going to tell you what worked for me. It might not work for you, but it might. So I want to tell you about those things too, and tell you how to go about finding your own types of curriculum for your kids. The third reason that I think homeschooling is such a smart way to teach kids is because homeschool kids don't deal with cliques or bullying. You just eliminate that from the entire experience of school. And while my kids were lucky that they did not experience bullying in school, they told me about it every single day of all the different bad things that were happening in school and the negative things and kids that they felt bad for. And, the truth is these kids that are bullied, they have anxiety and depression and they do worse in school. And, there's critics that are going to argue like, oh, it toughens them up. Kids need this experience of the real world. That's not the real world. The real world is being nice to people. The real world is being in a family-oriented and growth-oriented environment and a positive environment. We don't need to toughen our kids up by having them get made fun of in school. My 4th reason for homeschooling that I think is a great, that I think is the smartest way to teach kids also is that homeschooling is not just in the home, right? Just like, you might be in school and go on a field trip once a year or twice a year, but we can do it every day. We're in the home only a fraction of the time. A lot of our instruction happens in the real world. It happens in museums. It happens on trips. It happens in nature centers, really anywhere we want to go. And that'll be topics of future videos too, like how can you make your learning experience interesting for your kid and what you can do and things that you probably haven't even thought about as being learning experiences. school is like the real world, right? You're creating a sense of open-mindedness, and you're maturing your kids quicker in a way because you're cultivating this open-mindedness that they rarely come to see school as set apart from other aspects of their life, like school and life and family, and it's all kind of part of the same thing. And it's a really wonderful way to have your kids grow up. The sky is truly the limit, right? Homeschooling makes sense from an achievement point of view. It's proven that homeschool kids do better on standardized tests because they do have to take them every 3 years, just so you know. Again, that's part of the little fine print, which I will tell you about in future videos too. But they do better on standardized tests. They stick around longer in college once they're enrolled, and they do better once they're enrolled. And it's even shown that a proportion of homeschoolers who graduated from college was 67%, whereas public school students is 59%. So it's, a big increase in the amount of homeschoolers who actually graduate from college versus public school. And if you look at Catholic schools and private schools, they're even lower on the graduation rates from college at 54 and 51% respectively, completing all 4 years of school. My kids are slated for the top schools in Georgia. We are in a great school district. My choice to homeschooling was not based on the ranking of the schools or the availability of schools around me. It was based on me taking my children's education into my own hands and their hands and choosing what they learn and controlling the influences around them. So those are the reasons that I think homeschooling is a really smart way to teach your kids, but there are also secondary benefits, right? I have the unique privilege of learning Spanish again. I minored in it in school, and then it left me. I went to Cancun a couple times for spring break and used it then, and then after that, I was just like, didn't use it again. And now it's all coming back to me as I teach my boys a language. So, and I'm becoming fluent again, and it is a really great great thing to experience for myself. I know more about government and biology and psychology than I've ever learned in college at this point. I would be a great contestant on Jeopardy. So Alex, if you're tuning in, I'm available. My kids get to sleep in the morning. Kids need sleep. So do I. Our schedules are so much more relaxed now that we don't have to run for the bus and pack lunches in the morning and stand out in the pouring rain and go through all that all the stresses are gone. I actually thought it was absolutely insane that my kindergartner, 6 years old, right, in kindergarten, had to be the bus at 7 a.m. 7 a.m. for a 6-year-old. These kids need sleep. And the school's right next door to where I live. It made absolutely no sense. So, bottom line is that homeschooling was the best choice for my family. I know it's not for everyone, right? But I also know that if you look into it a little bit more, you might think it's more for you. You might see the benefits and the possibilities that could work for your family, and I hope that I can share some of those things with you as the time goes on. So if you have any questions for me, or you want me to cover any topics or anything that you might want to know about for homeschooling, to give me some ideas for other shows, please leave it in the comment section below so I can create some content for you specifically. And also make sure to hit the subscribe button so you get notified when we have future videos that come up. So thank you for tuning in again, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.